Harlem Blues. You know who that is? 16-year-old jazz singer Sophie Berkal-Sarbit from Winnipeg. You will want to remember that name. She's got a vocal maturity beyond her years. She's being compared to jazz greats such as Diana Krall, Holly Cole. The teenager launched her first CD, The Gypsy in My Soul, in April. Now, since she started singing jazz 3 years ago, Sophie has performed all over North America, and she will be performing Sunday at the Beaches Jazz Festival in Toronto. And she's taken some time out to join me now in studio and discuss the passion. Welcome back to Toronto. I know you're coming back for another trip. I'd love to hear stories about why people decide what they're going to do. So what was the story behind you going into jazz?
Well, you know, I was always interested in music. My family is very musical. My grandfather's been a rabbi for 50 years.
Didn't your grandfather come out with his first CD when he was like 80-something?
Yeah, 87, yeah. So my dad has always been a huge jazz fan, and he always was playing it around the house and stuff, but I never really took notice to it because I didn't really understand it. And then one day he brought me downstairs to the basement, and there's like walls and walls of jazz CDs, and he picked out this Ella Fitzgerald CD of her singing Angel Eyes. And he just like, you just close your eyes and listen to this, and I did, and it struck a big chord with me. And it wasn't just the song, the melody, but it was the lyrics too, and just the feeling she put into it. I had never experienced anything like that before. And I haven't stopped singing jazz since. Like, it's kind of been my thing ever since.
So Ella Fitzgerald turned your crank when it came to jazz. Who else was it that along the way, as you started listening to more and more jazz, pulling those CDs off your basement wall, that inspired you?
I started listening to Sarah Vaughan a lot, Dinah Washington, Carmen McRae. And then after I really got familiar with the standards, I started moving into Kurt Elling, I don't know if you know who he is, and Amy Winehouse. I'm a big fan of her.
And what about Diana Krall? Because the name that's on everybody's lips when they find a way to compare you, and I know you probably don't like to be compared, but hey, what a name to be compared to, is Diana Krall. They're saying that you are the next one in Canada. How does that make you feel?
Pretty honored, actually.
No kidding.
Because, I mean, she's taken the biggest step in terms of bringing jazz into the mainstream, and I definitely want to do the same thing. I think that more people my age need to start listening to jazz. It's such a great music, and you know, you don't find lyrics like that anymore. And it's something that I also want to start writing too. Wow.
I have a 15-year-old at home. Tell me how I can make her listen to jazz, like the music that I grew up with, that I loved, that my parents loved. I mean, what's the trick?
I don't know. I think you have to have a good ear and just be able to take some time, not maybe put it on while you're doing something else, but just sit and listen to it in your car, sit and listen to it at home. Just take a bit of time to listen because it's worth it.
When you hear it, and when you first heard it, and you'll never recapture the first time you heard it, but what goes through your soul, if you will?
I think jazz struck a chord with me mainly because a lot of the lyrics and stuff I don't really know about. I don't have life experiences like that, and it really taught me to look at a lyric more carefully and really dissect it and try to understand what the person that was writing it was feeling, and that has totally changed my performance, and it's something that I will cherish a lot.
So putting that emotion into it, although as you say, you know, looking at the lyrics, you might not have experienced love and then losing love and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So when you take it in, you have to put your mind right there.
Yeah, it's kind of like if I was singing about stuff that I was experiencing, it'd be a dirty room or a cute guy at school. Like, it wouldn't be the same kind of thing. So it's definitely a challenge.
Or homework.
Yeah.
Right. Speaking of homework, your friends, what do they think of all of this for you? The fame, the voice, the...
You know, they're really supportive. My friends are awesome with stuff like this. I've converted a few of them to jazz, but I'm hoping to get more. Yeah.
You want to take us out on something? Favorite piece of yours or something like that?
Right now, I'm in love with Amy Winehouse, so her Back to Black CD is my favorite.
Yeah? Okay. Sophie Berkal-Sarbit, Good to meet you. I wish you the best. You're only 16. The world is your oyster. Once again, Sophie Berkal-Sarbit performs this Sunday at the Beaches Jazz Festival in Toronto. And as we go to break, here is more of her in performance.
It must be love. Say what you choose. I got a right to